Hey guys, it's Matthew with your EdTech Tip of the Week. Episodes on this channel will consist of little tidbits of wisdom that I've either come across myself or that I hear about in blogs, podcasts, or in my conversations with all of you. So if you have an idea that you think would make for a good video on this channel, please do share it with me. This week we're going to be looking at the Snipping Tool. The Snipping Tool is a device that already exists on your computer if you're running Windows 7 or newer. If you're not running Windows 7 or newer, it's probably time to think about an upgrade in software. First, I'll show you how to find the Snipping Tool and pin it to either the Start menu or your taskbar. Then, we'll take a look at what it is the Snipping Tool actually does. And last, we'll talk about how we can use the Snipping Tool to actually create some instructional resources and use them in our classroom. So let's go ahead and get started. The easiest way to find the Snipping Tool is to use the search function on your desktop. Just begin typing SNI and it will pop up in your results. To make it easier to access for future use, you have two options accessed through right-clicking on the Snipping Tool icon. You can pin it to the Start menu or you can pin it to the taskbar. This is where the Snipping Tool will show up when you pin it to the taskbar. And this is where the Snipping Tool will show up when you pin it to the Start menu. There are 4 snipping modes to choose from, and a couple of options for what you can do with the snips once you have them. So, let's look at the 4 modes separately, see what each one of them does, and then we'll look at how to use the images captured to create some resources. Let's start with the full screen snip. This performs the same function as the print screen key on your keyboard. When you click on full screen snip, you'll get a preview of what you have captured. Freeform snip mode allows you to click, hold, and drag the mouse around the exact area you wish to capture. This can be helpful when there is an abundance of unwanted information in close proximity to what you would like to capture. Using the Freeform tool, you can easily leave that information out. The window snip mode allows you to capture an entire window that has been minimized from full screen. As you can see here, when there are multiple windows open, the window that will be captured will be highlighted. So you can go from one window to the next and see which one is highlighted, and then capture that window and nothing else that's on the screen. The fourth and final mode, rectangular snip, is the one I've used most frequently, and in my opinion, is the most efficient. Simply click, hold, and drag to surround the image you would like to capture. Now that you have captured an image, let's see how to insert it into an application and create some instructional resources. You can either copy and paste these images, or save them to a folder. Click on the copy icon, then paste it into whatever application you'd like. Let's see how it works in Microsoft Word. We have the option to resize the image. By default, the image's position will be fixed on the page, so you will need to select a different layout option. I usually use tight or behind text, depending on what it is I'm doing. That's something you can play with and decide which option works best for you and your purposes. Let's paste a couple more of these images, add some equations to graph, and now we have a resource for our students that can be used as a handout in class or added to Moodle for students to print out at home. We can also paste images into PowerPoint. Using this coordinate plane, for example, you could project it onto the board for a very large and easily visible graph. This could be drawn on top of easily with Expo markers. And in later episodes, we'll talk about how to write on these slides digitally. To wrap up, allow me to show you how I use this tool in my own teaching. I always had access to a digital textbook, but either the publisher did not provide PowerPoints or they just did not mesh well with how I wanted to present the material. So I would open up my digital textbook and just snip out the pieces from the book that went along with how I planned my lesson. If there were key pieces of information or diagrams I wanted to use, then I would get only that information. If there were certain examples I wanted to look at, I would grab just those examples. Once the PowerPoint has been created, you can copy and paste the same images from the presentation into a Word document. This will provide your students with some guidance throughout the lecture. I hope that you've enjoyed this EdTech Tip of the Week. and I hope that you know something now that you didn't know 5 minutes ago. Until next time, I'm Matthew, and I'll see you later.